Welcome to the FormLab resin printer documentation video. Please note that prior to using the resin printer, you must have already iterated the part you're going to print on one of the FDM printers and had a lab manager's approval to use the resin printer. Please note you'll also have to refer to the documentation to download FormLab preform slicing software. This is the preform slicing software. Once you have it downloaded and open, you can go File, Open, and you can import your STL file. If a broken model screen pops up, just click Repair. And from here we can go to the top right where it says Printer Type. We'll select Form 2 for our printer type. And we'll go down to Material. We'll select Clear V4. Then for thickness we'll do 0.1 millimeters. And then that's where you can name your job. And from here we're going to want to orient it. So you can, on the left hand side, you can click Auto Orient Select. And then right below that there's the supports, and you can select Auto Generate Selected. At this point you should see that the three thumbs on the right hand of the screen are all green. This means you're ready to go ahead and press the orange button and print. Make sure that your computer's plugged in. And once you do this, you can go over to the resin printer, hit the bottom left button, and we'll just want to make sure that we have the clear V4 in the resin tank. And we can go back to the home screen, hit the hamburger menu, and then we can search through and find the file we just uploaded. We'll select it, and before we start the print, we'll want to make sure that the resin tank cover is open. Pop it open, make sure it's open, and you're good to go. Next, you'll just open up the cover, and right here there's a latch where a baseboard can attach. There's a lever, you'll open that. You don't want to touch the bottom because you'll touch the resin. Recommend using gloves. I'm touching the top here, that's why I don't have gloves. We can slide it in and then just close that little latch. It'll hold it tight. Drop down the cover, and then we're ready to start the print. So we'll press the button, and then it'll ask us if we'll confirm if we want to print. We'll hit yes. And this will go ahead and start the print. So once your print has been completed, we'll go over and we'll have to take it out and put it into the wash. So the first step is just to open it. I don't have a print here, but this will demonstrate the purpose of transferring all the same. You'll want to put a glove on for the transfer, and the wash is on the left. I put a piece of tape over the button here, but there's just a black dial. You can press it to wake it up. If you hit open, it'll bring out the wash basket, and there's also a place where you can put this baseboard on. So you can either scrape the piece off and throw it in the basket, or you can place the baseboard in like that. Just make sure you have enough isopropyl alcohol to cover the piece. You'll need less if you put it in the basket, you'll need more if you keep it attached. So the next step would just be to set the time for how long you want to wash it for. I'm not going to set the time, but I would set it for about 30 minutes. Once you have it set, you hit start, and the wash cycle will start. And then you just want to time it, and then you'll be ready to go. So once your print is done, you'll want to come back. It'll rise itself out when it's finished. We put some gloves on. And then the next step is we're going to want to cure it. But before we do that, we have to let it dry. So we'll take the piece, whether it's in the basket or on the baseboard. For this example, it's on the baseboard, so we'll have to scrape it off. There, I'm just dripping off any of the excess isopropyl alcohol, just so I don't make a mess. I have a towel to put the piece on, and in the back of the wash there's the scrapers. These help you just get them off. Good tip is just to keep the scraper as horizontal to the baseboard as possible. Just try to find a nice lip and wiggle it under there. It's okay if you break some of the supports, as I just did. They're supports that are meant to be broken. Make sure you keep your area nice and clean. So as you can see, there's still a little bit of resin left on the baseboard. we're going to want to make sure to clean that out. Just scrape it off. Good practice to keep it clean. So then we'll just go ahead and put this baseboard back in the wash, just in case it still drips. And then we'll go ahead, power it off, put it in sleep mode. And then here we'll just let our piece dry. And then we can take the supports off and cure it. So once your piece has finished drying, you can go ahead and start taking off the supports. You can find some clippers to take the supports off just in the back of the wash. The clippers make it really nice. It's hard to use your hands on these ones. So once you have all your supports off, you can go ahead and start working with the cure. It's in between the wash and resin printer. Just like the wash, it also has a black dial. So you can go ahead and set the time and the temperature for how long the cure is. It's usually about 15 to 30 minutes for clear resin. And then at 60 degrees Celsius. So once you have both those set, use the dial to do so. You can go ahead and open the cure. It will slam shut, so open it all the way, and then it will rest back. And then from here you can just take your piece and place it on the bed of the cure. The cure will rotate, so I usually just place it as close to the middle as possible. You can close it and hit start, and the time will start counting down. And then you could use this time just to clean up your mess. It's always good practice. Here you can see the cure working. It rotates slowly. Here it's just about to finish up. So once the print is done, you can come back. I usually put a glove on just in case I didn't cure it for long enough and it's still sticky. Just better to be safe than sorry. So just open the cover. Just again let it go all the way to the top. Then there you go. You have successfully completed your first resin print. Congratulations. Just make sure that the FormLab area has been cleaned up